people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Didi and here I am with another English video. I'm taking advantage of the whole situation that we are currently living here in this world because I live in Italy. I'm 100% Italian. We've been in quarantine for the past week. Right now in the States also people are locked in their houses and basically half of the world is in quarantine. So my only joy in this life is making videos, and I'm trying to stay positive in my mind and just like try to make and create content as much as I can, because it's very hard to stay in your house 24/7. And so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I am Italian 100%. I've never studied abroad. I've never done, you know, the year abroad, or I've never actually spent more than maybe a month in the States. And so today I wanted to share my journey on how I've learned basically English by myself without like studying or without books in general, because I think that as an Italian we have a very strong accent, and so when I talk with, you know, people that are not from Italy, they're very surprised when I say that I'm Italian because I don't sound like this, you know what I mean? And so today I really would like to share with you all my journey on how I learned English and how I've learned basically an American accent. So it's gonna be like a super chill video. I'm drinking my coffee right now, so let's chat a little bit together. Let's share some experiences. And since I know that I have an Italian channel, but I really would like to also connect with some foreigners, because I know that some of you are not from Italy, or maybe you guys are watching my videos to learn Italian. So I think English, since it's the international language of, you know, the world, I really would like to share, you know, my story with you and chat and just like chill together. So roll the freaking intro and let's get started. I take already for granted that everybody knows me, in a way that if you click on this channel, I just like think that maybe you know my story, you know who I am, but I'm nobody. So I am going to basically introduce myself and just like step by step telling you how, you know, I got into English. So as an Italian, we start learning English is a subject that we study from like elementary school until high school. It's just like a must subject that we have. And so of course I've been learning English for basically whole my life. And another thing that maybe you guys don't know about the Italian education system is that we have 5 years of elementary school, then we have 3 years of middle school, and then we have 5 years of high school. In these 5 years of high school you can choose which, you know, kind of path you wanna go into. For example, I wanna study arts, and so I go to a, you know, specific high school. So I was pretty confused because I didn't know what I wanted to study, but then I found myself starting in this high school where I study languages. I have to be 100% honest because I chose my high school based on my English teacher. He was amazing. He was the kind of teacher from like the start until the end of the class. He would just like only speak English, and that was very good because not only it helped me a lot with like exercising my hearing skills. So this was kind of like my school path. I started being very interested in the English language since I was a kid, because not only High School Musical and the whole songs of the movies were like my life, but also because when I went to the, you know, movie theaters, I was only focus on why the actors could speak Italian but their lips and their mouth wasn't going as they were speaking. And so I've always been interested in listening the original language. I remember when I was a kid comparing the Italian voice of an actor with the original one. When I was 14, I had this magical opportunity to go abroad for 2 weeks in New York City. New York is where everything changed for me. This pretty specific event happened where we were on a bus going to Manhattan, my favorite word in English. They let us see a movie, and of course we were not only Italians, but there were a lot of kids from all around the world. They put this movie in English with English subtitles. And so after the movie was called The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock. It was like, I think it's still one of my favorite movies. Even if it wasn't like in Italian, I could understand everything, or at least I could understand, you know, the movie. And when I came back to Italy after 2 weeks, I just like forced my myself and I talked to myself in the mirror, and I was like, okay, from now on you're only gonna watch everything, like from movies, TV series, videos on YouTube in the original language. And let me tell you, it just like changed my life. That was a turning point in my life where I was like, okay, my 14-year-old self was like so smart to take that decision and changed completely my life. Not only because right now, even if I, you know, never went abroad to study or things like that, and I have an accent that allows me to speak with everybody, and this is the result of me watching everything in original language. It can be hard at first because of course I didn't understand anything that I was watching, because I was watching things like Grey's Anatomy in English and I was like, okay, what? I could not even understand that in Italian sometimes, because everything is just like medical, you know, concepts and words and vocabulary that I don't even know, and I don't think that I will ever use in my entire life. Okay, I needed to breathe a little. I started watching movies, I started watching TV series in English, and what really changed was me discovering like the magical YouTube, because I started watching the interviews of my favorite actors and actresses. I think that the person that really like, she became my idol. She's one of the greatest human being ever, not because I know her, but through the screen of my computer or my phone, I just like get that vibe. And I started watching Ellen DeGeneres. She talks in an English that it's pretty easy to understand, and also the fact that she plays along with, you know, her guests, and she really opened like a whole new world for me, because 14-year-old Didi, when she discovered the Ellen DeGeneres show, that show changed her life, and you know, it was amazing. I started learning new words, learning also grammar through things like a game that she plays a lot on her show, his Never Have I Ever. I've never, seriously, my entire school career, I've never understood like how to use never have I ever, never have I ever, and things like that. But after watching her show, I just like started to understand how to use never have I ever. Simple things as a game really helped me understand things and grammar phrases. I think the more you get curious to a new language, the more you learn. And so another thing not only was to learn new words, but then repeating the words in a different and a specific accent. I really wanted to have an American accent, and I think that I, you know, taught myself how to pronounce certain things, and I did that by repeating out loud some words and some sentences like never have I ever. And I learned that, you know, in American, for example, the R's sound different. I said that a lot of times here. I joke about this word, but we don't pronounce spaghetti, because we pronounce spaghetti with a double T. And for example, in America, you know, I said that in my last video, but in America it's spaghetti. Like the double T is almost an R, it sounds almost like an R, and that's how my name is pronounced basically in the States, because my name is Diletta with a double T, but it is pronounced Diletta, and so that's why I go by Didi. And I really want to share this story because I think it's so easy these days to learn a new language, and I hate when people say, oh well, I'm older now, I cannot learn a language so easily like you do because you're young, your brain is fresh and things like that. But simple things as watching like a movie that you already watched and you know by heart in English can really help you a lot. I always encourage people to do so because it is easier than you think it might be. I sometimes had problems with people because they just like didn't get it, how I was like super into English and why the hell was I using that, you know, language in my life. People were talking behind my back like, oh my god, who does she think she is? And you know, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for myself and my passion. I really wanted to share like this whole story. If you're very stuck, don't listen to anybody, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for, you know, my curiosity. And always be curious about everything. A thing that you really have to know is just like, it's not an easy process, in a way that it's not gonna be you watch a movie be in English and the next day you wake up and you know English like a native. It's just like, if you really want to do it, and if you really want to learn English and you really want to put yourself into learning a new language through the things that I've already said, just like do it. Do not give up. I know it's gonna be hard, but every day is gonna get easier. So yeah, that was my story. I'm always open to, you know, answering your questions if you guys have any, or, you know, curiosities or whatever. I'm always here, and I will have another video coming next week in English, so feel free to, you know, tell me and write down in the comments whatever you guys want. Also, I wanted to, you know, tell my story just because it might be something that it can motivate you doing the same, and I'm super glad if you guys do it, especially because like these days learning a language like, you know, English is very important, because, you know, with that you can seriously connect and talk with everybody, with like the whole freaking world. Before closing the video, I really would like to also say that tomorrow, it's not tomorrow for me, it's tomorrow, but for you guys it's today, I am going live on Instagram, and I will be talking in English. So if you guys are not Italians and you would like to come along during my live on Instagram, feel free to join. I will be there talking in English the whole time. I still don't know at what time, but I think around maybe 4 or 5, so PM of course. So, you know, join if you guys want. But thank you guys. I'm also super, you know, curious to know your stories and your suggestions, because I'm not, you know, the boss here. So you can share your thoughts, you can share your suggestions, and you might have some tips that I might follow too. So feel free to comment whatever you guys want, and I will see you guys next week. And I'm gonna say bye bye with thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. I love you. Bye.